today, on the first ever International Day of Care and Support, we celebrate the invaluable contributions of those engaged in paid and unpaid care work and support. In the Asia-Pacific region, women dedicate on average 4 times more of their time to these responsibilities than men. This stark inequality affects women's and girls' access to education, economic opportunities, and participation in public life. I'm proud, ESCAP, as a leader in research and policy development on the care economy and the advances we are making in our region to accelerate progress towards SDG 5 on gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. Our membership in the Global Alliance for Care further underscores our commitment to valuing unpaid care and domestic work and investing in the care economy. On this day, let us recognize the vital role of care and make it a driving force for gender equality and inclusive development. Through collective action and shared commitment, we can create a world where no one is left behind.
The International Day of Care and Support honors the essential work of care workers and the often overlooked burden of unpaid care work. Unpaid care work is vital for the well-being of families and societies and make a significant contribution to national economy. However, this work falls disproportionately on women. This is a challenge, but in Cambodia, we are committed to address unpaid care work by formalizing unpaid care work into the care economy and investing in care, such as promoting inclusive care infrastructure and services, supporting employment-related care policies, and care-related social protection. I invite you all to join us in valuing unpaid care work and investing in the care economy. Together, we can build a more inclusive, resilient, and equitable future for all, where no women and girls are left behind. Thank you.
The ASEAN Committee on Women joins the world in commemorating the first International Day of Care and Support. ASEAN recognizes the critical importance of addressing unpaid care and domestic work, not only to the individual lives of women and men, and girls and boys, but also to the family, community, and the whole society. Through the work of the ASEAN Committee on Women, the member states of ASEAN exchange knowledge, best practices, and innovative approaches. We work together to reduce and redistribute the burden of unpaid care and domestic work, as well as strengthen policies on care work, care infrastructures, and provisions for care services. Moving forward, let us all work together to recognize and reduce and redistribute unpaid care and domestic work and ensure that all women and girls are meaningfully and substantially represented and engaged so that no one is left behind.
The Philippine Commission on Women is honored to join the inaugural International Day of Care and Support, a resolution co-sponsored by the Philippine government at the UN General Assembly. We welcome this International Day as a tribute to the providers of care around the world, mostly women and girls who care for our children, the sick, our elderly, and our homes, often at the expense of formal labor. Without unpaid care and domestic work, the world would not function, yet its true value, both financial and non-monetary, is rarely recognized. The Philippines joined the Global Alliance for Care in 2022, its first Asian member, as a concrete commitment in furthering our work on the care agenda. We recently co-hosted a national consultation on care to inform stakeholders of the importance of valuing and investing in unpaid care work. As the National Women's Missionary of the Philippines, we commit to continue engaging with policymakers and decision makers to recognize, reduce, and redistribute unpaid care and domestic work.
Care work, whether for children, the elderly, or people with disabilities, is vital for human and economic development. But it is often informal and underpaid. The World Bank is helping countries build more resilient and inclusive economies. In East Asia and the Pacific, we are working to increase access to quality care, reducing the burden on women and girls, allowing them to go to school more easily and enter the labor market. In Indonesia, We are supporting the first Care Economy Roadmap, which recognizes unpaid care work as a driver of poverty reduction. World Bank analysis shows that investing in childcare can add $62 billion to the Indonesian economy every year. In Vietnam, we're investing in policies and infrastructure that are improving access to childcare, raising women's chances of having a wage-earning job by 41%. And in Tuvalu, we are easing the pressure on women caring for people with disabilities. Quality care is a game changer for women in development. Together, let's build a more caring world.
October 29 has been declared the International Day of Care and Support. For us at the Global Alliance for Care, this represents a great achievement for the recognition of care as a public good, as work, and as a right. In commemoration of this date, we invite all actors of the Asia and the Pacific region, including governments, to join us, the Global Alliance for Care, in promoting the care agenda. The Alliance was launched in 2021 at the Generation Equality Forum in order to address the unequal distribution of care and its negative impacts on women's autonomy and personal development. We have seen important advances in Latin America with the design and establishment of care systems, but progress cannot be made in silos. The Asia and the Pacific region has significant achievements in terms of technological innovations and care children and older persons, which can shape the debate on care. Let us work together to build societies that put care at the center to safeguard the well-being of all people and of our planet.
Our societies, our economy, they're all dependent on the care work women do. In fact, care work is the engine for our societies and economy. Oxfam is working with several countries and our partners in Asia to ensure that we invest in the care infrastructure. In some places, there are investments in road, education, health, and there are also investments in childcare and policies to protect domestic workers. But it's critical that care work is measured to ensure that we are able to see how we have progressed. We certainly need to measure this. We need to ensure that we change and redistribute the work distribution between men and women. This also means, therefore, socio-cultural changes. We cannot have an equal future without changing the burden of care work on women.
Care, something that is intrinsic to our lives, our societies, and our well-being. Yet, the majority of the responsibility of providing care falls on the shoulders of women and girls, and this positive aspect of life becomes a barrier to their very well-being. The Institute of Development Studies has collaborated with ESCAP to study how care is distributed in the Asia and Pacific region and what promising practices exist in the region to counter this unequal distribution. We have found aspects such as care-sensitive legal frameworks in the Philippines, time use surveys in Thailand, and provision of improved water supply in Cambodia and Nepal. However, despite these policy innovations, progress remains limited. We need a focus on not only gender-differentiated policies, but care-sensitive policies, which means recognizing the differential needs of both caregivers and care providers. I want to emphasize that care is not a burden. Let us come together to value and celebrate care.
Hi, my name is Marianne Tsao from the Tsao Foundation, Singapore. Since 1993, we've been championing aging in place and created a series of services that support older people to age at the home, from the very well all the way to the frail to those dying. As such, we work with caregivers of every size and shape. With that said, we've noticed that women caregivers really carry the brunt of the burden of caregiving. Many of them are older women themselves, elderly spouses who have health issues of their own, care for older husband. Some of them are daughters who give up learning, education, and financial opportunities. In that regard, I'm very happy that we're able to celebrate the International Day of Care and Support, to celebrate all caregivers, but certainly to acknowledge the special role that women caregivers have.
Globally, there are 75.6 million domestic workers, and this is some 18% of the global paid care workforce, providing direct and indirect care for private families. In many countries of destinations, especially in Asia and the Middle East, migrant domestic workers compose at least 1/3 of the country's care workforce. Domestic workers are carers for many families, but they are also carers for their own families. Therefore, governments must include domestic workers in labor laws and social protection laws and policies. And this is a principle enshrined in the International Labour Conventions, especially C189, Decent Work for Domestic Workers. We must have universal social protection for all. We must leave no one behind. And this is essential for the well-being for the society and economy for all.
ข้าพเจ้าคิดว่าเวียกงานดูแลเป็นเวียกงานสำคัญอันดับแรกอยู่ในครอบครัวในผ่านมาหั่นแม่นครอบครัวหั่นแม่นปะให้แต่แม่หญิงหั่นเป็นผู้แบกหาบภาระอันหนักหน่วงเป็นผู้รับผิดชอบเพียงแต่ฝ่ายเดียวก็คิดว่าทุกคนก็ต้องเห็นความสำคัญแล้วก็ต้องได้ช่วยกันเป็นต้นแม่นข้าพเจ้าก็เป็นผู้หนึ่งที่เฮ็ดเวียกงานส่งเสริมแรงงานนอกระบบที่เฮ็ดเวียกอยู่เฮือนแล้วก็ส่งเสริมกับเจ้าเรื่องบทบาทหญิงชายแม่หญิงผู้ที่เฮ็ดเวียกอยู่เฮือนหั่นนอกจากกับเจ้าได้เฮ็ดเวียกอยู่เฮือนแล้วเป็นต้นมันเฮ็ดจักสานบ่ตัดยิบบ่หรือว่าเฮ็ดตำโหกบ่ฉะนั้นข้าพเจ้าคิดว่าคันทุกคนเห็นความสำคัญแล้วก็เห็นคุณค่าในเวียกงานดูแลนี้แล้วในครอบครัวก็จะบ่เกิดกันพิษเถียงกันจะบ่เกิดข้อขัดแย้งแล้วก็เฮ็ดให้ครอบครัวมีความสุขพร้อมกันสร้างเศรษฐกิจมีอยู่มีกินแล้วก็จะไปรู้เวียกงาน 3D ก็คือเฮ็ดให้ครอบครัวพัฒนาดีแล้วก็มีความสุขซึ่งเป็นบทบาทอันนึงที่แม่หญิงเฮามีส่วนร่วมอยู่ในเวียกงาน 3D นี้หลายขึ้น
Care is vital in all societies. Everyone needs care. However, care is very often unpaid or underpaid. And when it is so, it mostly falls on women's shoulder, compounding gender socioeconomic inequalities. And that's why in Asia and the Pacific, the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, together with other UN agencies, calls for a care economy that is fair and more equal.
The demand for care and support have never been greater and will certainly grow further. Large-scale investment in transformative care policies would help meet this need, potentially creating more than 178 million decent jobs in Asia and the Pacific by 2035. In turn, this would reduce gender inequalities in employment, support inclusion, and yield significant economic returns. Let us commit to creating a better, more caring world of work.
Across Asia and the Pacific, women do 4 times more care work than men, at the cost of their own health, well-being, and prosperity. Thanks to the efforts of champions and advocates around the world, never before has the problem been so visible and to so many. So let's seize this moment of the International Day of Care and Support to transform the care economy together.